So, like the craziest thing happened today. I was sitting in the office waiting for, my son's speech therapy to be over. And, racial inequality issues were just like really on my mind because of this conversation I had with my friend the night before, um, where she kind of described her position on it as like, racism is kind of dead and gone. I don't oppress black people. My parents didn't oppress black people. Like, she just like put it to rest. If you work hard, you can get where you need to be, right? That kind of tone. Um, which I feel like pretty much completely opposite of that, but it was a fun conversation or whatever. So, anyways, basically the conversation I had with my friend last night was just still weighing on my mind about like, what are my thoughts about this? How does a black person feel here in Utah? Like are we racist? I don't know. So in this moment where I'm like really deep in thought, like the FedEx guy comes in and I look up and he's a black guy. And I just thought, this is weighing on my mind. I'm just going to ask him. Like, there he is. I'm just going to ask him. So I did. I was like, hey, man, hey, like, are you busy? And he's like, yeah, like with those boxes and stuff, right? And I'm like, well, can I talk to you for a minute? And he was like very like annoyed. Like, I'm sure he thought like, oh, what is this? Are they going to complain or whatever? Like, he wasn't happy. And so I get up and I start following him. I'm trying not to hold him up, right? And I was just like, hey, are people in Utah racist? And like I'm sure he just was not expecting that. So like his tone was like, oh, like, and it just turned really positive. And he was like, well, like race, like racist, that's a really strong word. Um, Basically he said like it's not racism, it's ignorance. Like he feels like a lot of people around here just aren't educated on the issue. And there are a lot of racial prejudices that like just kind of squirt out of people and they don't even know. And it was just kind of like when he was kind of describing that, I could totally relate with him with like my son's autism. People say really insensitive stuff to me about him and they don't even know, but since they're not educated on the subject, like they don't know they're being mean or judgmental or insensitive. So I felt like I really related with him on that. And I wish I recorded the conversation, but how weird would have that been if I was like, okay, stop what you're doing. I have a recorder. I need to ask you about this, but it's too bad because like I can't remember everything about it. But it was just riveting. I mean, his thoughts about it were just like, basically, I walked away from the conversation feeling like, yeah, there's definitely like racial issues still. He talked about how he keeps his education level. He's an educated guy, and he kind of just keeps that to himself because somehow, he sees that people don't respond well to him. And I want to know more about that, but we didn't get to talk very long. He said he describes his life like he has to walk a fine line between like black culture and like being what people want him to be around here. I want to know more about that because that seemed like a very interesting thing that I have no idea about. Um, but obviously he was working, so we didn't have a lot of time to talk. But I did ask him. I asked him about the H&M article with the kid with the monkey shirt, the black kid with the monkey shirt on, and he said yes, that was offensive. I mean, it was just, I guess when it was all said and done, it was just a really nice conversation to actually hear someone who's actually experiencing what we and my friend were talking about and like having a real legit opinion about it. Um, so anyways, I just said, when I'm in these situations, what can I do? Like, I'm a white person. What do I know about like what you're experiencing? Like, but I see that it's there. I see that it's real. So like, what can I do to help, like bridge the gap or something? And he just said he didn't know because like either people ignore the problem or they just don't care to know more. So like, what can you do? Um, but he said he appreciated me asking him. So that was good. I mean, I left the conversation feeling so like happy and motivated to find out more, or just felt like, wow, that was a real genuine interaction I just had with somebody about something real. And it didn't turn into like a fight or something. And so I just feel like it just gave me a lot of hope. You know, things are hard right now. I just feel like it gave me a lot of hope for everybody. I mean, it just, I feel like it just confirms my thoughts that if you just take an empathetic approach to things, I mean, we can all get along. So, I mean, but you don't have to take my word for it. I'm going to link up a bunch of stuff if you're interested in learning more. They're there for you. So, see you later.